Hey guys, I'm back again. So basically today I'm going to be talking about like a foreigner moving from where they live, coming to the United States of America. I moved from the Turks and Caicos Islands in the West Indies area. So I based on my experiences and what I feel like, will go better with what people should know. I mean, generally. So it's just a video. I'm putting out there for, foreigners, basically. So the first tip that I have basically is I highly suggest before you move to the States, or if you are already living in the States and you just moved, I definitely suggest you read about the history. So you wouldn't be walking around blind to the fact of why everyone is doing this. If you want to join a movement because you just feel that it's right, you wouldn't be like, I'm gonna join the movement. I don't know what it's for, but it seems like it's right. Still do your research. Still read up on history. Still figure out like how even America got started. Just do your research to find out like the place that you're living in, like how you're able to live there, basically. Especially like the Black history in terms of slavery and things like that. Like, you live in the Caribbean. Obviously, I'm not Caucasian, right? When you move to the States, or you're living here, or even if you're just here for like a 3-month vacation or something like that, they're not going to look at you and be like, oh, you're Caucasian. Or they're not going to look at you and go, oh, you're Jamaican, you're Haitian, you're from the Caribbean. You're going to be African American. They're not going to say, oh, you're from Jamaica, you're Jamaican. I mean, yeah, after you have the conversation with them and you talk to them, then they'll be like, oh, you're African American. But the first time they look at you, you're going to be African American. The second tip that I have is tipping. Like, when I was living back home, I didn't really know about tipping. I didn't know, like, when you go to a restaurant or when you go anywhere, that you should leave a tip. People, I didn't understand until I actually worked for a place where I needed to be tipped. And I'm telling you, I'm trying to express this so much, like, you don't understand how, like, people who work at the restaurants, anything, like, just tip anybody you can, unless, even if they say, like, I remember I went to Publix, and at Publix you can't really tip them, but I remember one time I gave this girl, I don't know what it was, I think it was like $5 for helping me walk out. I think it was $5. I don't remember. But she basically, it was raining too. Like, this is how you know. It was raining. And she walked outside with me at Publix. I even told her, I was like, no, it's okay. She's like, no, it's raining. So if I come and help, it'll be fast. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So she came and she helped me. So I tipped. I was like, oh, this is what I did. Like, I actually left her to, like, not to say like, oh, I left her to fix my bag and stuff. I left her to go get the tips. Then I came back. I put it in my pocket so she wouldn't be like, no, because I already know about the no tipping at, like, you can't tip them at Publix. I already know about that rule. So I had to get it in my pocket before she even see me going in my purse and she started to walk away. So I got it, came back, and we finished putting the stuff in my car. And she was just like, no, don't tip me, it's fine, it's okay. I'm just like, bro, take this now or else I'm dropping it on the floor. Like you have to force them to take it, because you don't understand, like, people, like, especially in restaurants. And I was in a restaurant, I'm not going to say which restaurant I used to work for, but when I used to work at a restaurant, I used to get like $4.25 an hour, and the tips is what you have to like live off of. $4, or I think it was $5.65. It's something. I think it was $4.25, because in restaurants you don't get minimum wage because you get tips. So as long as you know that, like, it would just have to be in your heart to be like, bruh, like, even if you don't have money to tip, at least $2 would be better than no dollars. Like, you have to at least tip between 15% and 20%, or you can tip more, or you can tip less. But it's just like, do not leave them just sitting there not tipping, because you have to realize that people go home and they have to feed their families based off of what they bring home as paycheck or as tips. Like, you just have to. I mean, you don't have to, but it's morally right. I feel like it's morally right. I feel like if I was working there and I went home with $1 and my minimum was $4.25, bro, like, what can that do? Like, I would add it up right now to show you that that cannot do anything. I know there's people around the world who's getting nothing, but if you can make a difference, why not? Like, you always talking about, oh, I'm gonna make a change, I want to do this. Then start with that. At least start with the small things, because that's what matters, you know. Anyways, the third tip that I have, like, I noticed this a lot. Like, I used to be very sensitive when I moved from the islands. I was very sensitive. So, like, if I were to, like, pass someone, I'd be like, hi, how are you, right? And, like, or and I say hello, and they say, how are you? And then we walking away, like this is me, and this is the person, right? And then, obviously, I see them, and he's like, hi, and then it's like, hey, how are you? And then we just keep walking. Like, don't get offended. I mean, they just say, how are you? To say, like, they acknowledge your hi, or hello, or good morning. Like, it's not for you to start a conversation. Like, some, like, you know, some of us do, like, obviously, if they stand there, they'd be like, how are you? You know, like, they're really genuinely trying to figure out, how are you? Like, then, yeah. But if they just say, how are you? Like, I used to be upset. I used to be like, bro, how you gonna ask me how are me? And you gonna walk away? Like, but that's just how they greet people. Especially, like, me, coming from the islands again, let me just say, we have, you know, good morning, good evening, good night in the country that I'm from, right? So, this is funny. I just thought about me and my boyfriend's conversation. When I first met him, or even when I spoke to his mom, like, I was just like, hey, good night. And she just like, good night? Like, you, like, what do you mean good night? I was just like, oh, no, that's just what we say. Like, you know, when you come upon somebody in the morning time and you say, hey, good morning. Like, it's just like a greeting. To them, like, to Americans, it's more like, all right, good night, go to sleep. Like, you know, it's not like a greeting. So, also, that's, like, in terms of me, I'm just, you know, passing the messages on to you guys. Like, that's how it was for me. Like, this guy, I think my teacher or something, and I don't know if I called or something or another, and obviously it was nighttime, so I was just like, hey, good night. He's just like, did you call me to say good night? I'm like, no, that's just like how we greet people, like, where I'm from. And he's just like, oh, okay. And then, like, we laughed about it. So it's just like, and then my boyfriend, he said the same thing. He was just like, he's like, babe, when you say good night, people think that you're going to sleep, or you telling them bye. I'm like, oh, like, that's why people be like, so, like, that's why they be like that when I ask them, because it's just like, I'm not used to it, so I'm just passing it on, basically, just knowledge. Also, just know that America, another tip, America is a country that you can have a voice at. Like, it's freedom of speech. Like, I definitely suggest that you read the Constitution if you are going to live here. That should be a book that you buy. I did find a book on Amazon called The Constitution. It was only $1 at the time that I got it, but then I got an email saying that it went up. Like, I bought it already for $1, but then it went up to like $10, $15, and I was just like, a little victory dance, because, you know, like, you feel good when you buy something and it's on sale and you see your rise, you're like, bruh. But definitely get a book on Constitution, or even go to Barnes and Nobles, find a book on Constitution. They have coffee, they have little snacks at Barnes and Nobles, at a little area that you can buy food at. Just stay there, like, stay there for like 3 hours, or stay there for an hour, go back next week, read another page. Like, just get knowledge, basically, is what I'm saying, before you move into a country. Any country that I move into, I obviously want to know the rules, I want to know the history, I want to know everything, so I know that I wouldn't be doing anything wrong or to offend anybody. Another tip that I kind of have is, let's see. It's not really a tip, but obviously if you're from another country and you move into another country and you do certain things and people just say, oh, you're weird, or things like that, don't be offended by it. Obviously, as long as you're not taking off your clothes and running through the streets, you're not peeing on, as long as you're not doing something to, like, something like that, like that, like, you know, not peeing in the streets, like I said, stripping naked, you know, then you're good. As long as it's, like, if it's something that you do. Like, if you, I know that, I don't know, but if you drop something on the floor and you feel like just by me wiping it off with a napkin and using it again, it's okay, then hey, that's you, that's your body, that's your choice. somebody might look at you and be like, you couldn't just get another fork? Like, it's right, like, you know, like, so, but like I'm saying, like, if that's your culture, if that's what you're used to, then yeah, I'm not saying that just forget about what you know and just act like you're not from the islands, or act like you're not from China, act like you're not from Europe, and just live the American life. Like, no, like, obviously you're your own person. You grew up in a certain mindset, but I'm saying, like, not to be close to that mindset. Obviously you're moving to another country, so basically just read. I don't want to say fit in, because fitting in sounds like, oh, you have to live to your standards. As long as you're not breaking the law, as long as you're not doing anything, like I said, peeing in the streets or something like that, then, you know, be you, but also read about the country that you're living in. Know what is right. Know what you can and cannot do. Know what you can and cannot say. Just, you know, live morally right. And like I said, the purpose of my channel is to give you knowledge, is to elaborate, to try to make the world be unified by, you know, things that I learn. Try to share my experiences with you, so it'll open up people's eyes and everything like that. So that will be the ending of this little tip thing that I have, and I hope that you guys liked it. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, anything, just, you know, comment and question below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it on any social media that you have, and come back to the channel so we can elaborate some more. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.